about Trump. I mean, you'd accept that.
Like what?
Like
Well,
what?
Literally.
See, what a disingenuous asshole. Like what? Like what? What a piece of shit.
1,000 if you gave me half an hour to find them. I mean, it's not a secret.
Can you give me a couple examples from like high-ranking limiters?
Well, it's not a secret that the left do memes about Trump, right?
Can you give?
I mean, it's even in the TV shows. I mean, South Park had a whole bunch of episodes making fun of Trump. So yeah, Piers Morgan's absolutely correct, and that's not even just the lone example. There's dozens and hundreds of examples of the left memeing Donald Trump and making fun of Donald Trump. They have this thing where they love drawing him as like fat, overweight, and unsightly, and he has a little dingling. You know, they love that. That was their like thing. Like, oh yeah, I love showing Trump naked where he's fat and he has a little dingling. And so Harry Sisson just being disingenuous, obviously.
Give me some examples from high-ranking Democrats that are similar to this.
So now he's moved the goalpost to where it's high-ranking Democrats. What does that mean, high-ranking, though?
Okay, let me flip the question around. Are you saying there have never been any mocking memes of Trump by anybody on the left in America?
No, that's not what I'm saying at all. I'm asking for like high-level prominent Democrats who might be in a similar position.
Oh, okay,
to Trump,
Well, Gavin Newsom has done a lot of memes on Trump. I mean, do you just?
Yeah, that's actually a good point about Newsom. Yeah, Newsom has made up a lot of memes about Trump. If Newsom made a meme of me, I would make an intro into my show and laugh about it. Yeah, and even Charlie Kirk too. Charlie Kirk was good natured about it when South Park satired him, had Cartman dress up as him. Charlie Kirk laughed about it. Look at Harry Sisson here, freaking all having a meltdown over it.
Yourself from those.
Has he done an AI video of dropping feces on the American people?
Well, that's a question of taste, but he does mocking memes of him, yeah.
Right. I mean, I think taste is a big point here. And I think objectively, Gavin Newsom, like mocking Trump on social media or posting like AI photos of himself or something like that is vastly different than Trump pooping on Americans, including myself and the American flag in that video. I think even you, Piers, would agree that those are two vastly different things, no?
Well, there is a report, for example, that you have sent a cease and desist letter to the White House threatening legal action if they don't withdraw it. Is that true?
No, I saw that on Twitter. I don't know where anybody got that from. I think there are genuinely just a lot of accounts on that platform that make stuff up. And I think that's just another case of that. But you heard it here first. I have not sent a cease and desist to the White House.
Okay, good. Isabel, I got to be honest. When I saw it, I thought, yeah, it's pretty tasteless, but it made me chuckle. It's like it's a classic Trump stunt. Many people will think it's puerile and pathetic. Other people will laugh. The point that Anthony Scaramucci made, that you wouldn't see these other... I mean, of course you're not going to see Keir Starmer do it or Anthony Albanese or any of these guys, because they just are classic politicians who behave in a classic political manner. The whole point of Trump is he's the complete sort of antithesis of a conventional politician. And I can imagine there are a lot of Americans, and I'm talking about millions, who would have found that just amusing. Right, and didn't read too much into it, just thought it was Trump basically retaliating to what he would have seen as a ridiculous protest by being Trump.
Yeah, I think amusing is a good word used there, Piers, and ultimately Donald Trump's sense of
Yeah, he is blinking a lot. What's up with that?
humor is not a surprise. We've known this man for upwards of a decade in American politics now, and nobody understands meme culture better than President Donald Trump. He's the architect of most of the best memes in history, but I don't think it's comparable to the memes, graphics.
I just like that when she said that Trump is the architect of all these great memes, Harry like kind of closed his eyes like that really hurt his heart to hear that, like, ugh. Like, cry harder, Harry.
Posters, calls for legitimate violence that we saw spread in city streets across America this last weekend from people of all ages on the left wing of the American political system, saying that anyone who supports Donald Trump, anyone who works for him, anyone who voted for him should be violently attacked, murdered, or assassinated because they are inherently Nazis, racists, or fascists. And that is the political rhetoric that I think we're having a very hard time reconciling with as we move forward in this country, particularly in the wake of Charlie Kirk's assassination. Harry, you asked for specific examples of memes that are raising the political temperature to incite violence against right-wingers in this country. You yourself
posted
in June of last summer, showing Charlie Kirk with a Ku Klux Klan hood photoshopped over him, calling him a racist and saying, Charlie, just put the hood on already. That video was later archived.
That's not true.
Oh, please tell us
what I posted. I'd love to. What I posted was actually not of last summer. I don't even know where you got that from. It was from the New York City primary.
Man, is Harry on something? He's like very jittery and blinking a lot and stuff. Like, sounds like he's on something.
Where Charlie Kirk likened Zohran Mamdani to the 9/11 terrorists, and I thought that there was a very racist and obviously unfair comparison, and so I told Charlie Kirk to put the hood on because there's nothing similar between Zohran Mamdani, a politician whom he might have disagreements with, and 9/11 terrorists. So I don't know where you got your information from, but that's just objectively false.
Oh, according to a very basic Google search, Harry, in June of last year, you posted a video.
I encourage people to do it.
Charlie Kirk is out here preaching unity while pushing every racist trope in the book. Just put the Klan hood on, Charlie. It would be more honest. You obviously were delivering that in a sarcastic tone, but you showed an edit overlaying a Ku Klux Klan hood on Charlie's head for dramatic effect. That video was later archived or removed after it had almost 2 million views on TikTok alone. And I think it's just an incredibly clear example, just like the thousands of videos, photos, protest posters, T-shirts that we've seen, Piers, across the country at these so-called Save Democracy protests, Save America protests, where you're watching people wear T-shirts saying "Make assassinations great again" with Donald Trump's head exploding. Public school teachers in Chicago simulating shooting themselves in the neck to celebrate the fact that Charlie was violently assassinated on an American college campus. You're watching people say, if I had the chance to kill Stephen Miller because he is a fascist and a Nazi, of course I would take that opportunity. People calling for the execution of Donald Trump, anyone who votes for him, anyone who supports him or works for him. This is a very dangerous time to be openly conservative in America. And the amazing thing about all of that is those people represent more than half the country. So I think we're coming to a time in America right now where we have to reconcile the fact that we need to be open and honest about our beliefs to the point that it is impossible to reconcile with people and to coexist with them when they legitimately want you dead after spending years calling you a fascist, a Nazi, a white supremacist, literally Adolf Hitler, or anything else we often see influencers like Harry post on social media.
Hey man, Harry is on something, man. Like he's very jittery. He's very like, yeah. Did Destiny share his Adderall with Harry? What's going on here, Harry? What are you doing?
Harry, respond to that.
So I just
the tax extension deadline has passed.
What is this? Tax Network USA, the best tax network you can find. Don't go to African tax net. Don't go to Network Africa. Don't go to Tax Network Canada. Only Tax Network USA. Use code word Piers.
Americans, trouble is just beginning. How much you can save.
Yeah, I have a quick response. So first of all, the video you're still talking about is not true. I also haven't archived or deleted any videos about Charlie Kirk. That was a complete factual error on the behalf of a lot of Republicans following Charlie Kirk's murder. Haven't deleted any of it. You can go look it up. Wait. But Isabel, respectfully, I let you finish. Respectfully, I let you finish. So I haven't deleted any of those videos. You can go see all the videos, all the tweets I've posted in response to Charlie Kirk. Now, you keep talking about political violence, and we have study after study that shows that more political violence comes from the right wing.
See, it was like that study dropped. That study dropped just so specifically these lying, disingenuous lefties could cite that study and be like, see the study says that actually it's the right that are more violent. Ha ha! Foiled again, chuds. Ha ha! But on this very stream, on this very live stream, which you won't see if you're seeing this clip later, you got to see the full stream. I covered many instances of the left preaching political violent rhetoric, even assaulting people for just being there that aren't that are saying right-wing things and stuff. The left are clearly violent. People are saying they wish Donald Trump was dead, all these things. The left are clearly more violent. It's just obvious. That's just reality. But we got the study that says otherwise. Ha ha.
Especially in modern American history, than it does from the left wing. So even if you just want to ignore the data, question for you. When Donald Trump mocked Paul Pelosi getting beaten over the head with a hammer, was that okay? When Donald Trump Jr.
Oh, yeah, that's going, they always bring that up too. What about Paul Pelosi? What about that, huh? It's like, again, no one's saying the right never has any violent rhetoric or blah, blah, blah. But we're just saying the left is way more violent. Like, here's the long laundry list of things the left have done, and here's like the list of things the right wing have done. There's no comparison. And again, the left are violent because the left really believes that Donald Trump is evil. He is Hitler 2.0. We're all Nazis. Wouldn't you want Hitler 2.0 dead? Wouldn't you want Nazis dead? So therefore, it's okay to do violence against the right because we're all evil pieces of shit. That's why they are more violent toward us than we are towards them, because we don't believe that they're evil pieces of shit. We should believe that, but we don't. And even if we did believe they're evil pieces of shit, most of us are Christians and don't believe that we should just do violence just because.
Did the same. Was that okay? When Mike Lee, senator from Utah, mocked the murder of Melissa Hortman and her husband in her home on Twitter, was that okay? When Donald Trump didn't lower the flag for Melissa Hortman after he did, of course, for Charlie Kirk, was that okay? When he was asked about Melissa Hortman, he said, who is that? He didn't know who Melissa Hortman was. Didn't even attend her funeral like President Biden did, former President Biden. So these are examples of political violence. The largest example of modern political violence comes from your party, Donald Trump, on January 6th, and then he proceeded to pardon
6th,
all of those people. So you keep talking about political violence, but every major Democrat in office has condemned any violence. I would condemn anybody at these protests saying they want to take the lives of any conservatives for their beliefs. But your guy pardoned people who beat police officers over the head. He mocked the
Harry,
beating of Nancy Pelosi's husband.
Look, Harry, hang on. Let me jump in. Harry, just to be clear, though, I'm looking at photographs here on my phone from the protests, right? Charlie Kirk had it coming. Make assassinations great again, right? There was this woman who's now been identified as a teacher, right, who was literally on video mocking the assassination, mimicking what happened. Now, would you unreservedly condemn that?
I think I've made this abundantly clear by now, Piers, that any mocking of Charlie Kirk's murder, any call for violence against anybody for their political beliefs is unequivocally wrong. But to suggest that it's only people on the left who do this is categorically false. And I know.
Yeah, see, so he moves the goalpost to her, but to suggest that it's only the left, no one is saying it's only the left. We're saying it's majority the left. It is majorly, again, the right. We don't believe that the left are all a bunch of evil assholes that need to die. But the left believe that about us. They believe we're a bunch of evil, hateful assholes that need to die. Wouldn't you want an evil, hateful asshole to die? So therefore, it's justified to commit violence against us because we're all hateful and evil.
Because after Charlie Kirk was murdered, I got death threats that I reported to the FBI. I've been a subject of these targets, as I'm sure the fellow right-wingers on this panel have been the subject of death threats from people that disagree with them. So let's be nuanced about this. Let's not be disingenuous and surface level. Let's have an informed political discussion, which would all lead us to the conclusion that there are crazy people on both sides who will make threats to people on both sides, and coming on here and pretending that it's one or the other and citing examples of people who are not elected to the Democratic Party when there are people in the Republican Party who mock it is disingenuous.
Well, from my point of view, there is no doubt that there are people on both sides that do this kind of thing. The irony here and the shameless hypocrisy is that you have these widespread protests across America with a lot of people engaging in this, and a lot of people were protesting about how disgusting Donald Trump is whilst being disgusting themselves. And so my point is, if you get...
Wait. What is this about a gag order on about 3,000 over the Charlie Kirk shooting? I haven't heard about that.
To protest about this guy saying he wants to be king, isn't he terrible, blah, 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 you probably shouldn't be glorifying the assassination of a 31-year-old dad. Let me bring in Jack Posobiec here.
But just for the record, I agree.
Okay, good. Jack Posobiec, I mean, let's go to the meme first of all. Did you have a big problem with it? Should Trump avoid doing things like that? He's not a conventional politician. He does shocking things to wind everybody up. I mean, what do you feel about it?
I mean, a meme is a meme. I don't think a meme hurts anybody. It's like Harry, show us on the doll where the meme hurt you. Donald Trump is going to post memes. He's always been posting memes. He's not going to stop posting memes. But at the same time, you look what he actually does in terms of his presidency. And, I actually like what he had to say in response to the No Kings protest, where he said, look, I'm not a king. I'm just a guy who works really hard and works his butt off to try to make the country better, make the world better. And I think he does do that. I think he legitimately does when he goes on these trips to Israel to work on the peace deal, when he goes on these trips to Anchorage, Alaska. Now he's talking about going to Budapest to talk about ending the Ukraine war, when he's working on these things. And certainly people can disagree with specific policies here and there, and I'm sure many do. But at the same time, when they talk about his intentions, I think that's where his intentions are.
Okay, I'm going to come to you in a moment, Scott. Thank you for your patience. Just going to bring in Rand Paul, who's joined us. The senators earned the president's ire this week for criticizing both the budget and the U.S. strikes on Venezuelan boats, and joins me again. Welcome.
Yeah, Rand Paul, he's been bitching about the boat strikes. How dare you strike? How dare you strike the boats? I'm working on it, guys. Be patient.
Back to uncensored, Senator Paul. Thank you very much for taking the time. First of all, let's just go through the two things which have wound up Donald Trump. Your objection, first of all, to the budget.
Well, the way I look at it, there are two choices that have been put forward. Republican choice, which would lead to about
The president's comments hysterical. I'm assuming he didn't mean hysterically funny.
Yeah. No, I think that he misperceives what's going on as far as where things are. I think there are people that are concerned about indiscriminately just blowing people up, because where does that lead? It leads to chaos.
What a stupid take. Like, it's just so dumb. Like, these are drug trafficking boats. They're not just striking random boats. You're not seeing cruise ships attacked randomly by the U.S., just bombing them or anything. They're not just bombing random boats. They have intel that, there's drugs on that boat. They're trafficking drugs via this boat and that boat. So let's bomb them. That's what's going on here. But they make it sound like we're just dropping random bombs on boats. We just see a boat and we just drop a bomb on it. That would be chaos. But that's not what's going on, dummy.
Really, it would be a world with no norms and no rules. And I think that some people get it and some don't. I mean, some will offer up, well, gosh, the next thing you'll know, Rand Paul will be wanting people to have trials, or, for murderers to get lawyers. And it's like,
that's funny, Tyler. It's like, yeah, no shit, dude. You're not one of us. Exactly.
There are very simplistic people who don't think this through, but yeah, the worst in society get legal representation. Why? Because sometimes we're wrong. Even when we've been very certain with all of the rules of trial and process, the DNA analysis has found that many people have been wrongly accused of rape and murder, have been exonerated after decades in prison. The Project Innocence has found. And so I think that blowing people up indiscriminately in boats, look, there are a lot of reasons why there could be even drugs on the boat, but the boat could be some poor fisherman who took a couple of.
Hold on, guys. My stupid audio is going on. Give me a second. One thing I heard is it could be a poor fisherman. Okay, well, have there been any fishermen that have gotten bombed? No. Well, then shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up.
Stupid fucking audio. A couple hundred extra bucks to transport these people, maybe assuming they might be drug dealers, but this is a person who did it out of desperation, or it could be they've kidnapped one of his relatives and he's doing it because they may harm one of his relatives. There's a lot of reasons why fairly innocent people could be on those boats. But the bottom line is, even if they are drug dealers, we don't live or we don't want to live in a world of summary execution with no process.
And finally, your view of the Trump meme, which has caused so much response to the King's protest, where he basically dropped poop on the American people, including Harry Sisson. What was your reaction to that?
I guess I think of it on a different plane. I think of the debate our founding fathers had over the separation of powers, of what Montesquieu said when he said that the executive powers, when united with the legislative powers, you'll have no liberty if those powers are put together. I've been a stickler for fighting against emergency powers for any president, whether it's a Democrat or a Republican president. So I see the debate over separation of powers as an important one, and one that needs to be on a higher plane maybe than cartoons and memes.
And just one last finally, but this is all with the context, of course, that the British royal family are massively in the news right now for very bad reasons, which is the continued scrutiny of Prince Andrew and the Epstein files. A lot of the damage is being caused by leaks from Congress who are investigating this. What is your view of the Epstein scandal and what should happen next?
I voted to release the Epstein files. We had a vote about 2 weeks ago in the Senate, and I was one of only a handful of Republicans who did so. But I've always thought that in order to have trust in government and trust in the justice that is meted out by government, that we have to believe that justice is impartial, that it's colorblind to your ethnicity, but also blind to how wealthy you are. And if the notion becomes prominent and accepted that wealthy people are treated differently than the ordinary people, that justice is somehow skirted if you're wealthy, I think that's a really bad signal to send to the public. And so I think if we want the public to believe that justice is the same for everyone, we have to make sure that all the information comes forward and that rich people weren't given a bypass or a pass on this scandal. So I haven't been really involved with all the details of it. I don't know what's going to be turned up from it, but I think it should be transparent so people can regain trust in the justice system.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, look, it's libertarianism, not even once, guys. This is your brain. This is your brain on libertarianism. It's not that we're sending a message. It's not that the country is sending a message like, oh, if you're rich, you don't get punished. It's that those rich and powerful people have money to pay people. That's what's going on. They have money to pay off, say, judges or people in the government or what have you. That's it. They're powerful and they have power over people. That's why the Epstein list hasn't gotten released. It's because of power. It's not about sending a message like we're just going to treat the rich people better than the poors. No, it's that the rich people have the means and the power. That's what it is. So I wouldn't expect Rand Paul to say anything different. I mean, he's a libertarian after all, right? Isn't he a libertarian, right? And yeah. And of course, he has the lame small brain take about the whole, well, what if they're fishermen? Oh, is that what's going on? Have there been fishermen that are just minding their own business fishing and then they got bombed? Is that what's going on? No? Well, then shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. You're probably wrong then. But and then, listen, going back to Harry Sisson, it's so funny that he's complaining over a meme. Yet, yeah, like he said, the left, like Piers said, the left are able to post whatever they want about Donald Trump or any Republicans here. They're allowed to post whatever they want, but as soon as Harry Sisson gets a meme made out of them where he's getting crapped on, pretty harmless meme, by the way. Oh, this is offensive. He's just pooping on the American people. Harry Sisson and all these lefties are not to be taken seriously. But what did you guys think about this? Leave a comment in the comment section below. Subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed this. And yeah, the full video, if you want to watch it, is down below in the description section.